Cooper with the Canine Chronicle, bringing you Table Talk live from Enumclaw, Washington, where for a minute it looks like we don't have raindrops falling out of the sky. So I've got three folks from various parts of the country, mostly where we're at right now. There, who do I have with me?
Terri Erickson. I'm 10 miles from the show site.
Luke Baggenstos. I'm live about an hour and a half away here in Washington as well.
Chris Lyden. I'm 25 minutes away.
All right, so I've got three people who are basically in their backyard. Terri, first of all, welcome back to you.
Thank you.
You know, you had a little health scare there, and you look great, and it's really good to have you back.
Very happy.
You know, you were lucky, you were smart, and, you know, we're just glad to see you, you know, looking as good as you are. So, you know, welcome back to Left-Handed Circles. You know, you can swim those left-handed circles too, I guess.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. How does it feel to be back?
It feels great.
Okay, so this is your second show back?
Third.
Okay, third. All right.
I missed Wyoming, but
okay. For good reason, but you're back now. So congrats to you for being back, and just, you know, take really good care of yourself, please. We're glad to have you. We want to have you around for a while. So, Luke?
Yes.
We talked first dog show back. That was July?
June? End of June?
End of June.
Yeah.
That was in Oklahoma.
Correct.
And you have been on the road basically the whole time since, haven't you?
A couple weeks home in July when there was the big gap. Yeah, when the stuff all got canceled. But we did Guthrie and then some Alaska shows. Rowan went to Alaska. I was home. Mm-hmm. And then we did Canfield and Waukesha and then the Wyoming-Utah swing and then here.
So how many miles have you traveled since we got started at the end of June?
Since we're in a corner a lot, probably 13 to 15,000 in that range. Okay.
All right. Is that more wear and tear on you than your normal schedule?
For sure. I'd never been to Canfield before. Only a couple times have I driven that far. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Definitely further.
And how does it feel now that you've been back for a while? Does it feel like you're more in of a normal routine, or does it still feel?
It's normal. It feels normal.
It does?
Yeah, I mean, all the protocols and the mask wearing and all that stuff is second nature now for me. It's just how we do things.
Right, and you're comfortable with that?
Very, very comfortable.
Now, I know that you've been kind of across the country now. Do you think that all of the shows are equally as diligent in their COVID-19 protocol?
I think the shows are. I think that the areas that they are in aren't necessarily, but I don't think that applies to the dog show people. The dog show people are following the rules, yeah.
Right.
So some of the areas we travel in, we're the only ones following the rules, but, you know, that's each different area.
Have you had any trouble with quarantine issues?
No, we're in a pretty low, Washington's pretty low level of percentages right now. We're not on any quarantine lists or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
Except Alaska, you have to have a COVID test so many days before you head to Alaska still.
Right.
Yeah.
And where have you been, Chris? Are you sticking pretty close to home, or have you been?
Well, for my work, I travel internationally, and that's been a big change for me in COVID, is because I haven't been able to do that. I mean, my business takes me from New Zealand to Europe, and I haven't been able to do any of that. So I've just been kind of stuck around here. It's been a huge change for me.
I can identify with that as someone who I cannot remember the last time I've been home this long. I mean, since we were sent home from Louisville, Kentucky, I've been to Canfield for 3 days and that's it. So I understand it, feeling a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're sponsored by Royal Canin, and no Royal Canin people are here, so we're doing virtual booths with signs and QFR codes and OCR codes and that sort of stuff, so people can get online with sales reps and that sort of stuff. So
interesting. So did they send those to you then? Did they send you iPads or?
Well, no, they actually sent us a bunch of signage that has the code, the scanned sections on it, and then once you scan that and create a login, you're live with a salesperson or a rep from Royal Canin.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a virtual booth.
So they're basically online for the entire dog show then, from just like they would be at a booth at the dog show.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Very interesting. That's very cool. So your sponsorship was still good, which is great. It's good to see that they still stand behind it.
Yeah, and actually, Royal Canin and Trupanion, our main sponsors, were going to pay us the sponsorship dollars whether we had a dog show or not. Because we've attempted, we've put their names in premium lists, we've put online in our web pages and Facebook pages and everything else. Our sponsorship has been fantastic.
Great. That's really good to hear. And it's so necessary now, because even, there are a lot of people that don't recognize that putting on the same dog show, it's so much more difficult. And with that difficulty, it is more expensive. There's just no question that, to try to implement all the protocol and get everything the way it needs to be costs more money.
Well, and sponsorship dollars have diminished across the board from every sponsor, across the country, whether it's Purina or Royal Canin and everything else. This show used to be sponsored by Purina, and we got $30,000 from them, and we couldn't even remotely think about that, in the last 5 years.
Yeah. But at least there's still sponsors out there,
Yes. Yeah, there are. They're fantastic sponsors out there.
Stand behind those dog shows and, So I hope for your sakes, all three of you, that the rain holds up a little bit. Are we looking at this weather pretty consistently through the weekend?
You're September in the Northwest, so it's very unpredictable. It could be, we had double rainbows this afternoon over the group rings.
Did you really? Did the sun actually come out? You actually had sunshine?
Yeah.
We had sun until about noon-ish.
Yeah, you could have had a shower and got a tan today out in the rain.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I love it. That's terrific. All right, you guys. Well, enjoy. Have fun.
Yeah, ma'am, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how this show came about, because we canceled in August.
Okay, please do.
And yeah, it was a phone call from Luke to me that was facilitated through Sheila Barre, that said, hey, there's some dates that might be open here. There's a situation here that might work if we can work together to make this happen. And quite literally, it took a village to do this. Richland Kennel Club gave their dates to us because they canceled, because they were still in phase one.
Right.
We got Walla Walla, who was combined with Richland over in the Tri-Cities, to move their show over here to Enumclaw. And that's how we put this cluster together. So there were two clubs that came together, a bunch of professional handlers that came together, and a superintendent that came together to put on a show from scratch in 6 weeks. To hire judges.
Stacey Davis was an instrumental part too of putting it together.
Yeah, Stacey Davis, the other show chair from Walla Walla, I kind of handed the judges stuff off to her because she had hired the judges slate for this weekend.
Right.
So we just went out to them to figure out who could judge and who was still available to judge this weekend. Our grounds happened to be available. It was literally took a village.
Congratulations.
Julia Rylander, breeder owner handler, took on the reserve grooming. Get that done. Did a good job.
Liz Swearingson, the president of Olympic Kennel Club, took on RV parking, and so did Terri. And, it was just, there's a group of about 6 people that we were on the phone day and night,
Right.
trying to get this together. I mean, for the AKC to even approve us to do a dog show in 6 weeks was incredible.
Right.
And then we had forest fires in the area and roads closed and smoke hazards.
I was just going to ask you, is it smoky there at all, or
No.
because you're down in the valley? I mean, how are the fires there now? Are they better?
They're out.
They're out?
Yeah, we've
awesome.
had 3 inches of rain the last 2 days. So yes,
Okay.
they are.
Oh, they just okay. All right.
But it was just from going, Glenn Lyden at AKC allowed us to keep our shows open for an extra day, just because our whole area had power out. I mean, Terri was on evacuation warnings from her house.
They were doing everything to keep me from a dog show, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, well, and you went really above and beyond to keep yourself dog show, Terri, really, seriously.
Can you see that ridge behind us up in the skyline there?
I do.
There was fire shooting up behind that skyline. That's how close it was to the showgrounds.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. That's something else. Well, congratulations.
Forest fires and smoke and 6 weeks.
The show will go on. I mean, it's like, you can't stop dog people from having a dog show. And I think, again, there's a core group of people that just sticks together and, kind of pushes through. Sadly, there are clubs that don't have those people that have that, dedication and perseverance to just say, not take no for an answer. They get overwhelmed. So, good for you guys for getting, and it's obvious that, you knew what you were best at, and you guys all kind of took the piece that you felt most comfortable with. And
well, Luke just know that I'm stupid enough that if he called me and said, "Hey, I got an idea," I was going to bite.
There you go. And you did, but look at that. So what the entry limit was 2,400, 2,500?
2,500. And we're
at 21?
No, we're 2075 on Saturday and 2050 on Sunday.
Okay. All right. But, considering that the Canadian border's closed, right? I mean, that's basically the entry you're missing, isn't it? I mean,
about 25% of our entry comes from Canada. Yeah.
So, you're doing great. You're doing really, really good. So I'm really glad that we got to visit a little bit, and I'm glad that, we're not listening to rain in the background. So I hope you guys all get your dogs X'd and everything done before the next wave of rain comes down.
Yep.
But thank you guys very much, and good luck for the rest of the weekend. Be careful on your way to Idaho. And, Chris, you're probably going to need a little recovery after this is all over for a couple of, he says, just carry on. All right. Yeah. Thanks, you guys, very much. All right, everyone. That's step 1 for Enumclaw, Washington, where it is currently dry and overcast.
Yep.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye, Deb.
That's an optimistic weather report.